How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be starting our new video series called Fish and Tips. If you like learning about fish, if you like learning about gear and other aspects of fishing, make sure you like the video and subscribe down below so you don't miss them. I'm going to be coming out with them every Friday from now on, and I hope that you guys enjoy. Now let's get to the video. Now, to start out this video series, I figured that we would cover one of my favorite tools to use out on the ice, and that's my Humminbird Helix 5, the G2. And for this demonstration, I'm going to be just taking out of the case real quick. This is just a soft case that came with the ice bundle, and it works pretty well. Just your standard Humminbird soft case. But here is your unit. You got your transducer cable going. I have it wrapped around the monitor there. Then battery on the back. So when you think of the word flasher, what's usually going to come to mind is Vexilar. And they revolutionized the sport of ice fishing, I'll give them that. But these Humminbird Helixes have really changed the game for me. I went from an Ice 35 to this Helix 5, and any flasher is going to be a game changer for anyone, but this is like the next step up for a lot of people. So the way that this differs from traditional flashers that have the little wheel with the light that spins around and flashes at you is that it's on a screen like this, and it not only has the wheel dial style flasher mode, but you can also change it to sonar. And 2D sonar has been really useful for me, and at first I thought I would stay with the wheel style flasher, but I just love that you have all this memory right here. You got instant readout on a bar right here, and this is all of what has happened in the past, which might not seem that important to you, but it's been really important to me. And along with that 2D sonar, you can switch it to do zoomed sonar. And I can adjust my zoom up a little bit, and you can also zoom in further on it too, like that, hitting the little plus and minus button, and that'll allow you to really get a good picture of the bottom or whatever range you're really targeting those fish at with just the push of a button or two. And just go right back up, and right now I have it on 2 times. There's a little 2x right there, and that means that it's twice the zoom. And then you can keep going over, and it gives you depth and time and all that. And then another key feature for this is your GPS. Right now it's going to be, I think all the units go to Mille Lacs Lake to start out with, but it's got some preload maps on it, which is really nice. They're not the best, but they do have them. And actually, when you zoom in to where you are, you'll see right here, it's like I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but it's extra colored and there's more graph lines on there. That's going to be what's called your live scope feature, and that's something that you can use when you're in a boat to make your own lake maps and to map out different structures if you want to get a little bit more detail, especially on bodies of water that there just isn't that much for contour maps out there, which is really, really useful. And contour maps are one of the biggest things you can use when you're trying to find fish and when you're trying to eliminate bodies of water. The other thing that the GPS is good for is that you can track your path. I'll put up an image of first ice that it tracked my entire day's path with this thing, and you can just see I went like crazy walking around. But it's really useful for if you want to track where you've been, and so that you could come back the way you came, or so that you'll just know where you went and know, oh, maybe I should have gone a little bit to the left here or a little bit to the right. or something like that, it can be really useful to you, especially after the fact even. And then along with that GPS tracking your route, you can also use it to mark waypoints for yourself, which is incredibly important, especially if you suddenly find fish. I mean, you think that you can find your old hole, but it's a lot more tricky than you might think. And so marking your old hole is just so easy here. And then you can even come in on the boat during the summer and find those weed edges, that rock pile, whatever, and then hit the mark button and it'll save your spot so you can come back ice fishing and find that again right on the dot. And then there's a few different, like, I guess you call them modes of viewing. This is the GPS, then you can go GPS and flasher, GPS 2D sonar, GPS and GPS, I guess, if you want to roll like that. I guess it's a more of a zoomed out GPS there and zoomed in there. And then this is going to be a snapshot. I don't have any snapshots saved on here, but you can if you want to. And then you're back to your 2D sonar and your flasher side by side if you want to. I found that really useful for getting used to the 2D, is having the flasher there, and eventually I transitioned over to, this is my favorite screen, is the 2D sonar split screen where it's zoomed in and then regular view so you can see the whole water column. Another key about this unit is that it's very customizable. I have it on A scope right now and then color setting 6, and there's 23 in total. There's 19 chart colors it's called, and then there's 3 more of the, I guess you call it more traditional sonar colors for flashes and stuff, and it's basically just like green, yellow, red. So green is your lightest, then you go yellow, then you go red, or you have yellow, green, red, so it goes from green to yellow to red, or you have green, yellow, red, blue, or something like that. And that's, I don't use those ones. I just like this Sonar 6 color scheme. It's got red, blue, green, and yellow on it. And blue is going to be your lightest, then green, then yellow, then red. And there's many different colors you can do. Black and white, you can do yellow, you can do, like I said, there are 19 of these sonar colors, and then the 3 additional color schemes. It makes it really easy for you to find what you want. All you have to do is hit the menu button and then go to down to the bottom here and this sonar colors, and you just arrow over back and forth, just find whatever you want. And then you can also set your chart speed if you want. You can put on bottom lock, which is what I like to do, which basically just means that instead of it auto going to the bottom, like saying it so that it fills the whole screen, you set it yourself. Because what can sometimes happen is that fish will knock that transducer cone while you're bringing it up, and then your bottom will shift because your cone started shifting around. Sometimes it happens, depend like how close your bottom of the screen is to the bottom of the sonar screen. And I just like to set it so that, say like I'm fishing in 19 feet of water, I'm gonna set it to 20 or 21 feet of water. Real simple. And then the A scope setting is just kind of, it rounds off the edges of your sonar marks a little bit, makes it look a little bit more organic in my opinion. And then also I feel like it helps with your target separation a little bit, because with the Humminbirds you're not going to have quite as good of target separation as like Markham, but I think that you can compensate for that with the A scope. But really, I don't think that I have any issue at all with the target separation. Usually if there's a fish on the bottom, I can usually tell, because the bottom will just be stagnant, and then when you see that fish coming through, the bottom will just kind of wave along a little bit, and once you know how to read these things, you can be really effective out on the ice. And then there are also two different cone angles that you can set for this model. So if you're fishing in shallow or deep water, I've used this thing from 2 feet of water all the way to 36 feet of water with absolutely no issues at all. I mean, if you're fishing 2 feet of water, your cone's only going to be like this big anyways. So that's going to be a problem that you'll have with any sonar unit. But once the fish is under, you can see it on your screen like just as well as you need to. And then I don't have any issue with fish being spooked by sonar in that shallow water myself. Some people say they have, I have not. Another thing I want to go over with this unit is the battery consumption, I guess you'd call it. And with these screens, you're going to be using more battery. You're not going to get the same kind of charge as you'll get with a regular flasher, just because they put off a lot more light. But what I find is that if I set it to brightness setting 6, which you just tap the power button once and then go down to light, and you can dim it from 10 all the way down to 1. And so what I'm doing is I'm setting it for how bright I need it to be for where I am, and that really saves you a lot of battery. I find that 6 is the perfect setting for if you are in full sun. You're still going to be able to see your screen fine, but it is going to be dimmer so that you're not using as much battery. And then if you're at night or in a darker shack, you can set that light to even lower so that you lose even less battery. But I find that on 6, I can have my flasher running with the GPS mode on, which you can turn your GPS off too if you want, and that will save a little bit of battery, but I just leave it on because I like to have it available. I can have this thing running for about a day and a half full of fishing. So for me, that would be about 15-16 hours of straight consecutive use. Another great feature that this G2 model and all the ones that come after it are going to have is this chirp feature. And what that is that you're going to go into your menu and then go back up to the top, Chirp IR. You can turn that, it's off right now, and I can turn it on. There's 6 different levels of chirp. And what chirp is, it's basically noise reduction. It's going to change your signal a little bit so that you're not getting mixed up with other sonar units around you. So that's going to do it for this video. I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter, keep the information dense for you guys so that you can quick watch them and get in and out and get what you need from the video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to be posting these videos every Friday from now on. It's going to be talking about fish, it's going to be talking about gear, it's going to be other reviews, just whatever I think could be useful to you guys. And if you guys ever want me to do something specific, let me know in the comments down below and I will be sure to get to it eventually. I do have a plan for some videos that I want to release, but I can squeeze in your guys' suggestions pretty loosey-goosey. It's just, I really hope you guys enjoy these videos because I really want to start giving you guys more information that you can find useful and that you can learn something from, because in the end, I think I really do want you guys to just learn from what I've experienced and just to make you a more successful angler out on the ice, on the open water, however you fish. So enough rambling. If you guys like this video, give it a like. Make sure that you comment down below if you have any questions about this unit, and that goes for all the videos I do from here on out. Just give me a question. I will be sure to answer as best as I can. If you'd like to pick up this unit, I will have the link down in the description below. And make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss any of these videos that are going to be coming these Fridays from now on. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and if you get the time, make sure you hit that water and catch a big one.